So I've had a lot of people ask me how I made my automatic minecart dispensing station in my Minecraft Let's Play world, my beta Let's Play world. So I thought I'd make a tutorial on how to actually build the automatic dispenser to make the minecart sort of come out at the click of a button. So these are the materials you're going to need. Sticky pistons, you're going to need at least one, possibly two. Depending on how you want to build it. I'll show you two kind of ways you can build it. Some redstone dust, some redstone torches for the powered rails and the rails that you're going to need. Some redstone repeaters, depending on how far away your button is going to be to activate the system. At least one stone slab, possibly two, the equivalent to amount of sticky pistons you have. And some glass or dirt, some optional blocks, depending on what palette you're using, whether it's visible or not. And then some minecarts, of course. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is decide where you want your minecarts to be stored and dispensed. So I'm placing this block here. You want it to be slightly elevated, and you want to have enough vertical space to be able to fit at least, 3 or whatever minecarts, whatever you need. And then you also want a little bit of space around you so that you can put rails down and have the minecarts sort of be manipulated where you want them to go. Now I'm going to place 4 blocks behind like that, and then one in the middle like that with a slab here. So just in facing the block where you want all your minecarts on, like that. Now let's say that my input is here. You can really have this anywhere you want as long as you have enough redstone to come out of it, and meet up with this piston here. And you just want it to line up like that. And now if you need need some extra distance, you can put a repeater down like that. So yeah, this basically goes directly to the piston. You press this button, and it pushes the piston, moving that block like this. Now the next thing we want to try and do is we want to line up the rails correctly. So they kind of have to be placed in a specific way, so that you can have the minecart leave the dispenser and also return to this dispenser. That's a big thing, because you don't want to have to, refill this manually. You want to have it automatically sort of lead there. So you want your rails like this, 2 rails coming out of where the minecart's going to be pushed off, and then rails coming back like this. So this is going to make it so that when a minecart is pushed off, it will come onto this rail and keep going this way. It's going to hop over this and keep going. Whereas when it comes back along the same way, it'll turn this way, and we can put it back into the dispenser like that. Now obviously you're going to need some power in it like that to make it work. So the next thing I'm going to do is just encase this. I might use my glass. Encase this, put some blocks on top so that none of the minecarts really fall out or anything like that. Not that they really do, but I don't know, I just feel like it's nicer to have it encased in like a magazine like this. So yep, glass around it like that, or whatever building block, depending on how you feel, and you can raise this up however high you want. So the higher it is, the more minecarts you can put in the magazine, basically, which means you're less likely to run out of minecarts at any point. So yeah, this is what it kind of looks like that. Now the next thing you have to do from here is lead the minecarts up to the magazine drop point so that you can actually have them come back up to this point. Now to do that, you can take this track here and bring it round. Now obviously, depending on your budget, you might want to use some powered rails, or make it a bit more refined than this. I'm just kind of winging it like this. I'm just going to use a bunch of powered rails because I have them spare. Now this block can't be a glass one because we need to have this on top. So this is what it kind of looks like. We have the input here, and as a minecart comes in, it'll come around and come up this drop point and land in the magazine, and then once it's pushed out, it'll come out like this. So I'll show you what that looks like. We push this as if the minecart's come back, goes up, and it went too far. My bad, let me just put some blocks there. Put the minecart in, it pushes, it goes up, boom, and then drops down. So there it is. Now it's all loaded and ready to be shot off. So we'll put a couple more in there so you can see what that looks like. And we'll see like that. There we go. And now we've got 4 in our magazine. We'll put another one in. Boom, like that. So now we've got 5 stored up in our magazine like this. So now with the minecart stored like this, all you need to do is press the button, it pushes the minecart out, and then it sends it on its way. So as you can see, it pushes it out and off it goes. And then we can take these and we can push them back down and they'll make their way back up. Just like that. Very simple. So if you're building this, you probably want the minecart rail to be close by the activation button. Just for convenience, it saves time, it makes this more worthwhile having. And it'll also be worthwhile having the minecart slow down slightly if you can, along just regular rails as it comes to you so that you don't miss it and have to chase after it or something like that. Something to consider when you're building your own version of this. For example, as you can see in my system, I have it come up the rail on some unpowered rails so that it'll slow down here and just make it to this. So it gives me enough time to press the button and walk over, have it slow down a bit, and then I can get in and start going. But this is just one magazine that leads into one set of rails, which is quite ineffective really. So we're gonna actually make it so that you can have two outputs of this system here. So you can break those glass, you can put another piston in like this and a slab in like this. And then you can remove this block like this and put in your powered rails. Now, this is a new output that we're creating here, which is quite good. So you have your output like this. We're going to break this so that we can then turn this one into here like that. And then boom, like that. So this way we again have an input. As the minecart comes in here, it's going to turn, it's going to lip over this and make its way back up into the same magazine. But then if you push this minecart out, it's going to come around, lip over this, and then go off on its way. So you can actually have two rails come out of the same magazine like that and return to the same place. So all we need to do now is have this piston connect up. So we just put some redstone dust like this, have it come around. Now obviously my crude placement of redstone here is just that, very crude. You could make it a lot better. So here we go. Now we've got two outputs like this. One of them I just threw together, comes around, leads to this piston directly. This button leads to that piston directly, and the minecarts will be sent into different minecart rails. So you can go to different places using the same system. So that one's sending it out to that way. Then I press this one. It didn't work for some reason. My repeater was facing the wrong way. How embarrassing. Boom. There we go. And as you can see, it sends out this way. So that is the whole system. Obviously I was a bit crude with the redstone and the rails. I didn't quite optimize it. So obviously in your own worlds you can optimize the path of the redstone and the amount of powered rails and things you use, so that it's more cost effective and things like that. But this gives you an idea of the general concept and how to actually build one. They're quite simple and you can really build them anywhere, and they're quite compact as well, so they don't really take up that much space, and obviously having the 2-for-1 rails is quite good. But yeah, I hope you found this tutorial useful. Let me know in the comments whether you use this system in your own world. If you have a use for it, that'd be pretty neat. Leave a like if you enjoyed and if it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters!